Welcome. Plug this back in. I don't know if this is going to work, bro. I'm doing everything I can to make the damn thing work. Oh, you fucking thing.
I just got a notification.
Welcome to the Mav Caw show. I hope this is getting to everybody. We are really working and trying to get it. Terry said it's working. You're live. Right on. I've been working on this thing forever, man. So it's kind of weird the way they make us do it on a Chromebook. So anyway, tell everybody it's working on your text. Okay. So as I was saying,
Howdy.
welcome to the Mav Caw show. I'm Mav.
I'm Caw. You know me, everybody.
Yeah,
Crazy Caw.
Man, I'll tell you what, it's been crazy trying to get this thing to.
Yeah, it's been pissing us off.
Yeah, everything I just did, I did last night, and for some reason, it's still now it's working, but I don't know what
we're seeing Terry's messages.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you for having us. Hey, no problem.
Hey,
Terry.
we love when people get involved in our stuff, man.
Yeah, definitely.
So, to bring you guys up to speed as to what actually happened last night, me and Caw showed up about 8 o'clock. We went in to get some extra, things we could put
for a podcast.
We were going to do a follow-up podcast to it.
Right.
And when we did, things started happening at first. It was sounds.
Little things. Yeah.
Like we would hear something way up front, and then it would happen way in the back, and then it happened on one side and not the other side.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So yeah, we chased it around for a while.
Yeah, it was like it wanted us to chase it. Like it was
playing
hide and seek. It was
playing with us. Yeah. Yeah, it's not like it was scary,
right?
But it was that happened later.
Yeah, that was later.
So about 9:45 or so, I start setting up everything. I start doing the YouTube stuff. I test everything. I tested it at 9:45, and I went live. It let me go live. It had no issues.
Mm-hmm.
And 15 minutes later, believe it or not, it would not log in at all.
Yeah, it was like nope. It said going live, but it would just
it just circled. And I took a picture of it, and I'll put it in a podcast. But it was crazy because at 9:45 when I tested everything, our earphones, our microphones, everything worked. They sounded beautiful. But by 10 o'clock, we literally had to take our headphones off because the static inside them was so bad we couldn't take it.
Right.
The microphones it's like every bit of electronics I had was going crazy. It was weird. So we're going to go back Monday night. So we are really looking forward to it. But so we pack up about 10:30ish. I put everything back in my backpack and stuff, and Caw has some footage we were going to use. But I told Caw on the way out, I said, hey man, there's a door handle. Why don't you grab it and see if you can open the doors, see what happens. So Caw knocks before anything.
Yeah.
And
I always knock.
I'll let him take it from here.
Yeah, so I always knock and then listen just to see if I could hear anything, because I knew there was not a person in the room. So I grabbed the door. I just used these 3 fingers to turn the knob. And I turned that knob and something yanked it open like this much. I'd say that's about like a half inch.
It may be a little more, just
like
but it was enough.
Just a tiny bit, and it slammed it real hard. It was real fast, like bam, bam.
Yeah.
And we took these guys still ain't being able to see us. My friend Doug and my friend Mike. I don't know what to
tell them. I mean, it's working.
Oh, they're not. You got to subscribe to our channel. That's why.
Oh, I put it as public.
I know, but if they're not subscribers, it's not going to notify them. I got a notification.
Okay, you should.
See,
you should
Mav
probably
Caw
tell
live.
them that. Yeah.
Hold on. Go ahead and finish telling them.
So he goes to open the door, and he doesn't grab door handles with his whole hand. He grabs them with like 3 fingers, his thumb and 2 fingers. And when he did, and I am not kidding you, it scared us. We actually kind of ran around the corner because it yanked the door out of his hand and slammed it violently. And we were like, wait, what? And at this time, I didn't have the podcast camera rolling because we put it in the backpack. But he took his phone out and he started recording. So we do have this part on video. So he goes to do it again. And again, it pulls out of his hand and it slams, not as hard as the first time, but enough. And we were just kind of stunned. We were taken back because we weren't expecting that to happen.
Right.
I figured if anything was going to happen, it would happen when he knocked on the door, honestly.
Right.
I didn't think it would be
like that.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't really listening. What part? Did you tell him when I started recording?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I started recording. That's going to be on our podcast, the little video clip.
Yeah.
And yeah, I turned the knob, and the second time when I started recording, I was turning the knob like I was trying, and it was not.
Yeah, it's like it's either something was holding the knob where he couldn't turn, or
they just locked it for a second.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah. And then it did it again. Slam. I was like, wow, man. And then at the end of that video, I kind of debunked it that it was a garbage can, but it looked like a little person. Like they was only 3 feet tall, maybe.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's like something was standing behind the garbage can.
Yeah,
and you
I
could
was
see
like,
its head.
it's a garbage can, and him and the lady that owns the shops, they was like, no, I see a face. I was looking, I was like, I could barely see it, but I need glasses though. It's small for me. You know what I mean? Like,
you can kind of like something standing behind the garbage can, and it's just kind of looking at him.
Yeah.
And that was pretty creepy.
And it was standing in the area that I kept getting crazy vibes from.
Yeah.
Like, there's a couple spots in that store I just was like, whoa. And
yeah.
There was a few times where I thought somebody was standing next to me.
That happened to both of us, actually.
Yeah. Well, with him, it wasn't standing next to him. It
ran up behind me.
And I heard it. Like, I heard running.
Yeah.
It wasn't him. You know, he was a few feet behind me. And then all of a sudden he comes up and he bumps into me, and I'm like, what are you doing?
I wasn't even watching what I was doing because I felt it, and I kind of just took off running. And I bumped into him. He's like, what are you doing? I said, dude, there's something behind me. And it breathed.
Yeah.
It was like,
yeah.
And then, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 minutes later, Caw thought I was behind him, and it wasn't me.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. And it was like he was right here. Like I could touch him right here, because he was looking over my shoulder into my phone, because I was looking up some footage that I just took a minute ago because we wanted to see if this cabinet was open or something.
Yes.
And it wasn't supposed to be, by the way.
Yeah. No.
But so I thought he was still looking over my shoulder. You know how you can just know a presence is there, and you can kind of see him out of your peripheral right there. I saw and felt that, and then I was like, man, that's crazy. It's like I can't tell if it's open. And I heard him be like, mm-hmm. And it's not normal for him to just be like, mm-hmm. he would be verbal. You know what I mean? And then so I turned, and he wasn't even behind me. He was like,
I was down by the Annabelle doll.
About 20 feet away by it. Yeah, and that's another. They got a cool Annabelle doll up there. That's about like 3 feet tall.
Yeah, it's a good 3 feet,
and it's $700 something. I want it so bad, but I didn't get no creepy vibes from the Annabelle doll.
No. But now they do have that wheelchair, and I'm telling y'all, this wheelchair has to be.
That wheelchair reminds me of one of the wheelchairs they used in the one of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
That wheelchair, I would say, is 100 years old. Easy.
It's wood, made out of wood. And
it is really creepy. It gives off a creepy vibe.
Yeah, it does.
It's kind of scary looking. But we were really upset that we could not go live. And like I said, everything I just did, I've done 100 times and nothing worked. And now finally YouTube worked. I don't understand it. I don't know where it came from. I don't know what happened. It did not work at all.
Yeah, I was mad too, man. I woke up at 4:00 in the morning that day, and then I worked an 8-hour shift.
Yeah.
And then I stayed awake after that so we can go and do that, and I'm like, and then nothing happened, and we weren't able to get nothing, live stream working. I was mad, dude. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I feel like it did something to our
something
because we were live for a second.
And everything was crystal clear.
Yeah.
Everything was, I mean, you can hear a pin drop in these mics.
Terry says, is it scary or not? No, it's not. I mean, it
depends. Sometimes you get scared.
You get feelings and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
So, sometimes you're like, okay, something's not right. I feel something. And other times you're walking around and you're fine. You're at ease. You can walk around by yourself, which we did.
It was so weird. The places I was like, I wasn't feeling anything, and I felt it was peaceful. I would look around at the knickknacks and the stuff that was in that section, and it was always crosses or little knickknacks of angels or cherubs or stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was around like the Christians booths, like that I didn't feel anything. But by these other spots, like there's a little section they got these bookshelves, and there's a bunch of books on them. They got books for like $1 a piece.
Yeah.
And man, every time I got by that, I kept getting spooked out. And there's a lady that has a booth there that we spoke to, and she told me that she saw books flying off that shelf.
Yeah.
And there's no way they could just fall off the shelf or anything, because they're way back. There's space on the shelf left over. Like they couldn't have scooted out and fell. She said they flew out, like they were pulled out.
It's one of those things that it happened, but I'm not saying it was scary. I mean, the door slamming it kind of caught us off guard.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie about that. It shook us.
Yeah, we started to take off. I was like, no, we got to go back. I wanted to get footage.
Yeah.
So that people ain't like, oh, you're full of crap. You know what I mean? Like, it really happened, man. Like that.
Yes. It was fun. I mean, we had a great time.
Whenever that happened, I felt like a jolt of electricity went through me because of the kind of like if you were to kind of like whenever you're going downstairs and you think there's another stair.
Yeah.
And there's not, and then that feeling that goes up your body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It felt like that whenever the door got pulled out of my hand and closed again, slammed or whatever. But yeah, it was such a weird feeling.
Yeah, I don't know why it worked one time and never again.
See, look, Terry says he saw us at 9:45.
Yeah, it'll notify subscribers when we go live, and I figured I would test how good it was. I would test the connections that we had, the system, and it went live, and then it just would not go live again. And I couldn't figure out why. I don't know what happened to it. It just didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but we really wanted to apologize to the viewers because
we wanted to go live so bad, and like we got all hyped up about it. I put it on Facebook. I'm like, we're gonna be live, join us.
And technically, we did go live.
Yeah. Yeah.
for about 10 seconds.
Yeah, it was crazy.
You know,
I do want to go to other places though, man.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, absolutely.
see, we live in such a small town and we're far away from all of you guys, like it's hard to just go and find places that could be haunted or whatever.
Yeah,
So, but I do want to hit up this graveyard that I know of, and we would need permission, but I want to go to this school that we saw too. And
yeah,
this school, it's creepy as hell,
yeah. The
man.
school is
And if
pretty
anything,
rough.
we can find out information about the school and do a podcast about it,
Yeah,
and maybe take a picture of the school and show
yeah.
it, because you would look at the school and you'd be like, I ain't going in there, man.
No,
And you got to leave that to Mav
I
Caw.
want. I wonder how long that thing's been shut down too, because
Yeah, it looks
you can
pretty.
tell it's been sitting there a minute.
Yeah, it's been sitting there. It's
Yeah.
dilapidated. It's yeah.
Oh yeah.
I didn't notice. Was the grass overgrown?
I didn't.
I
I
didn't
don't
notice that
know.
because
I
if they're
didn't.
still taking care of the
I'm
grass, they might
I'm
be doing
creeped out by
something.
the top windows.
Yeah, me too. That's
Yeah.
I didn't know that you. Yeah, that
Yeah, them
I felt
top
the same
windows
way.
creep me out.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. There's something going on with them
I
things,
feel like
dude.
there was a fire there.
Yeah, I have no idea what happened in that school, but it is
Something
really
happened.
cool
Some
looking.
people were trapped in top, maybe, or something.
Uh,
I don't know, man.
yeah. But to bring everybody up to speed here, we want to bring someone with us.
Yeah.
Kind of a thank you to you guys and
For subscribing and watching.
for subscribing and watching, and we really and we love doing what we do. So
Hey, somebody stop watching us. We had 3 people for the longest time. And it's like, God, this is boring.
Yeah, they might have got kicked out too. YouTube.
Oh yeah.
But we really want to get other people involved because we've been asked. I know today alone, probably 15 times if people can go with us.
Yeah.
And yesterday
so
too.
we were thinking about doing a like drawing, like so all the people that want to go. We'll find out who all wants to go, and then we're gonna write all the names down, and we're gonna pick a name.
Yep.
It would put names in a hat and just pick one out, and that's the person that gets to go. But you got to be willing to travel. And what was the other thing? You got to be willing to.
Well, I mean, it's easier if they live closer.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but yeah, we're so far away from most of the people we know.
Yeah.
Or
well, I
people
mean,
I know anyways.
there's people in. I mean, we have Newton County, Jasper County, Lake County, Porter
Terry
County.
said I would piss myself.
So I mean,
oh yeah, that was the other thing. You gotta have a strong, like, you gotta be strong to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't just like run out like we almost did last night. We gotta.
I mean, we stopped though. I give it to us. We did stop.
Yep.
We did. We were like, okay, let's. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it did shake us. I'm not gonna lie about that. We did not expect that door to slam that hard.
Right. I didn't expect to hear any noises in there, and we did.
Yeah.
And I saw a few shadows, and
but like
I heard a couple voices in there.
It's like I always say though, there's so much stuff in there you don't know.
Right.
And some of the stuff, like I said, that wheelchair, I'm telling you, it's at least 100 years old.
Yeah.
That ain't no joke.
That wheelchair is creepy. Nothing happened with it, but it's just got this vibe about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's got a creepy vibe to it.
Like I always think, if that chair could talk, what would it tell you?
Right.
Or like, where did it even come from?
You know what else I was getting vibes from was that back area where they have displayed all those bells and trumpets and things.
Yeah. Yep.
Those, dude, I feel like them trumpets they're not trumpets, they're bugles.
Yeah.
Or I don't even know if they're bugles, because a bugle is just
straight. Yeah, it says bugle on it.
Is it a bugle?
Yeah.
Yeah, they might have been from like Civil War or something like that.
Yep. Yeah, so we're trying to get, people interested in what we're doing. We're gonna be there again Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
And we should be able to go live and get everything situated. we just was in shock after last night. And plus, um, there's a couple other places we want to go and things we want to do,
Yeah.
and try to get everybody interested. And we kind of felt really bad that we couldn't do too much last night, but
the podcast chair. Oh,
the
yeah.
podcast night. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
So yeah, Terry, he saw the podcast with this
Yeah.
chair scooting towards
Yeah.
my bed.
My chair. Yeah.
That was wild, man. Like, dude, I wanted to run. I couldn't do anything. I could only sit there and be scared. I had a friend on the phone. I don't know if there's 3 people on right now. I don't know if she's one of them, but my friend Carrie, I kept her on the phone because I was scared. And she was hearing voices through my phone when I was recording and stuff like that. And when I was talking to her, sending her voice messages, she could hear other voices talking, and I didn't hear them whenever they were happening. So I would go back and listen,
Right.
and like I heard it then. I was like, "What the hell is that?" Like,
yeah. That was a weird night.
that happened again the other night. I still got to show you that. I was talking to her the other night, and I don't know what it said, but it sounded almost melodic, like a melody a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was really late at night, dude. It wasn't the kids. It wasn't nobody outside. It wasn't anything. I don't know what the hell it was. But yeah, I'm gonna have to try and find that, show it to you.
Yeah. Yeah, because you didn't tell me about that one.
I forgot about it, dude. There's a bunch of stuff I didn't tell you about that I forgot about.
See,
I
now,
always forget. I got a problem with my memory, man.
See, now that's the thing. I lived here for 3 years and I've never had nothing happen.
Right, but see, that's the thing with me. I can go to somewhere where nothing's ever happened, and I can tell the people, I'm like, man, there's something here, and they're like, oh no, nothing's ever happened here. And then I'll leave, and then days later they're like, dude, ever since you came over, man, something's been happening at my house.
Yeah,
I don't like that. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, man. I didn't drop nothing off. I didn't leave nothing. I didn't tell them to stay there. Which is like, they come out when I'm around.
Yeah.
Do you think that they're trying to be heard for help? No. No. Like, if they were, I would know. They would let you know. But no, they're just like spooking you, like pretty much. I mean, they're not always trying. It's not like the movies where they're always asking for help so they can rest peacefully. That's not the case. Sometimes they just like to mess with people.
Right.
The ones that are asking for help don't know that they're dead.
Right.
You know what I mean? Pretty much. And the ones that are messing with you, they've known they've been dead for quite a while. So now they're just screwing with people.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we got somebody new moving in the house.
Well, like I said, we moved in here. I bought this house. I don't know. I think 3.5 years ago now. I've been here alone. I've never had anything happen.
I've experienced stuff all the time in here.
Yeah,
in this house, like,
and maybe
whether
again,
it be a feeling or whatever.
I've never experienced anything here. Now, what I will say is, years ago, when I was young and not gray, I made a few movies, and I will say I've seen some things in there that I'll tell you I'm a skeptic straight up.
Yeah,
I have to see to believe. And
yeah, it could happen right in front of his face, and he'll just be like, "No, there's a reason." I'm like,
there's
"No, man, ain't no reason the shadow of a little kid walked by, dude. There's no little kids around."
I seen some things with my own eyes that that is not easily explained. Okay, and that's the truth. But I did a closed down insane asylum years ago. They've tore it down now; it doesn't exist. But the thing with that was, we heard voices. We got chased through the halls. I mean, it was a horrible place. I had nightmares all the time. But when you take that experience and you go to a place like we went last night, like with the door thing, it wasn't scary, but it was extremely startling because I didn't expect the door to be yanked and then slammed. That I didn't expect. But
you'll see it yourself on the next podcast. Like,
yeah, I'm
and
gonna have to
I
put it all
promise you
together.
guys, like, because my hand is on the doorknob, but I promise you guys, man, it was not me that did that. Like, you're just gonna have to go on my word that it wasn't me that did that. You know, like, it's I felt it being pulled. What is that happening?
I don't know.
I felt it being pulled, you know, and slammed shut, and it's just so fast when it happens.
Yeah, I wasn't scared, but I was like I said, startled. I didn't expect it. And then the first film I did was on a school, and it was a Catholic school, and I seen. We went down into the bottom level, and it was half underground. So half the window was above, half was below. We jumped in through the window, and we get into the hallway, maybe 5 feet by this time, and we hear something like running loud down this hallway at us, and we all turn around. And now, again, I can explain all. I'm scientific in that way. I just like to explain things. But I couldn't explain what I was seeing. There was a little boy there, and he was clear as day. And he laughed, and he goes, hee 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 hee. He puts his hands up to his mouth, and it was a little redheaded boy. And then he turned around and he ran back into the blackness in the hallway. Now, it wasn't just me. There was a friend of mine. He saw it, and he had the camera. And then there was a girl with us, and she saw it. And so my buddy he's the type of person that he wants more. Give me more. Give me more. So we take about another 5 steps, and he says he's going to kick this door in. And as soon as the last word left his lips, it was like all hell broke loose. This thing come charging, and it was loud down this hallway. He backs up against the wall. She pushes me into him, and we're all standing there waiting for something. And he was the one who looked at us and said, "Okay, let's go." So as we go back through this classroom, we have to jump up and out because again, it's on half underground. So we reach in and we grab her, and when we do that, as we're bringing her up through the window, this thing is barreling towards her. We drove home. We never spoke about it. We tried to watch the footage when we got home, and we were terrified. I'm not even going to lie. We couldn't even watch the footage. It took us a couple years, I think, to actually watch it. And he's passed away now, but I'm telling you that place was wow. That school, you know what I'm talking about.
You're talking about the asylum or Salesian?
Salesian.
Oh yeah, I had experience.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those places that you can just it reeks of bad vibes.
I had some stuff happen to me there. We talk about it in another podcast that we made. It was like one of our first couple podcasts, but
right.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened because I wasn't present. You know, like
right.
I had when we left the school, I was like, how did we get in the car? We were down the street when I came back to reality.
Yeah.
And I was like, how did we get here? You know, and then my friends told me what happened, and there was like no way, man. Like I was walking down into the darkness, and anybody that knows me knows I'm scared shitless of the dark.
Yeah, he is. Yep.
And I was walking into the darkness by myself, and I just got sucked into this room and beat up a little bit, and I came flying out horizontally. You know, like looking at the ceiling. You know what I mean? And
Right.
I came out horizontally, and my came out flying out there so hard, and it's a really wide hallway. It's a good 12 to 15 feet across. I can only jump about 3 feet ahead of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's about as far as I could jump. I flew out of there about 12 to 15 feet, and my feet went into the wall, into the drywall. I made a big hole in the wall, and then I'm crawling out on my arms. They pick me up, and then we get outside, and outside there's a what is that, gymnasium? What
Yeah.
is that?
Yeah.
Something. It's
Yeah.
some kind of gym or something.
Yeah, the big gymnasium they had.
Yeah, and so we're walking past that, and my buddy lights up a cigarette, and I was like, "What are you doing?" You know, and we all smoked. You know, like I was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "You're smoking." He was like, "Yeah, I'm having a cigarette." So what? I was like, "Dude, you got to put that out. Coach is gonna see us, and he's gonna make us run laps, and he's gonna tan our hide." Nobody my age says tan our hide.
Right.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like
Yeah.
that's an old saying.
Yeah.
And I don't remember none of that happening. And he just looked at me. And he was like, "What?"
Yeah.
He put his cigarette out and whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wasn't me. I was one of the students. You know what I'm saying? Like something took over me, and yeah, it was
Right.
just crazy, bro. Like,
Well, just so everyone knows, because we're getting more viewers, we're gonna try to go like on a ghost adventure thing, and we're looking for someone to go. So if you guys are interested, let us know.
we'll draw a name.
Yep, we'll draw names, and I think it's going to be a good experience. We didn't think that this would become what it is, so we would love to have someone come in and join us.
Yeah, like when we started the show out, like it was just a show about everything, but everybody seems to like the
Yeah, they
paranormal
like
stuff.
yeah,
Like we have a lot of stuff paranormal that happens my
yes,
whole life. It's been like a big
yes,
paranormal story. I could write a book. Uh, but yeah, man, people like the paranormal. They like ghost stuff, so
yeah.
that's what we're gonna do. Like we'll have other podcasts about other stuff too, you know,
But yeah, we've been
but not
asked.
as much as paranormal.
We've been asked probably in the last 48 hours. I know 100 times if they can go with us, and it's one of those things like everybody wants to go with you. You know what I mean?
John Doe, thank you, man. I don't know who John Doe is, but thank you, man. I like you too, bro.
So if you guys if you're interested and you want to go with us,
just send us a thing.
so hit
All
us
the
up.
people that want to go, we're writing all those names down and
Yep, and we'll
cutting up the papers and putting them in a hat and drawing a name.
Yeah, because I think to be able to go to different haunted locations and do maybe a live broadcast from each location would be cool.
Yeah, definitely.
That's kind of a cool thing. I
I want
mean,
to go to this graveyard, man. Like it's been calling me, dude. Like this graveyard is in the it's in the middle of these woods, and my friend Carrie showed it to me. Her and her old man, they showed it to me,
right
and it was out in the middle of these woods. I was like, why is this
here,
yeah, like there's nothing else around.
right?
And the graves are so old, dude. They're like most of them are broken, and it's small. There's only like 30 or 40 graves in there.
Yeah.
Maybe less.
Yeah.
But
Well, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and send them in the chat. We can answer any of your questions you might have. But I think the first thing we're gonna do is that graveyard with someone else, because we're gonna be back at the building.
Well, yeah, that's why I mentioned the graveyard.
Yeah, we're gonna be back at the building Monday night, and we're gonna try to go live.
We can't really take anybody there because there's a lot of expensive stuff there.
Yeah,
and if it's somebody that gets picked and we don't know you, I'm sorry, but trust nobody. You know what I'm saying? I can't. I don't know if they're gonna steal something, or you know what I mean. Like I'm not saying that our followers are thieves or
that.
nothing,
And it's
like
Monday's
I said,
gonna be here before I can get everything done and set up and get the paperwork finalized. But
the only places I really would take people would be a graveyard or like an abandoned place or something if we get permission.
yeah,
I don't really want to take them into a store that has a bunch of expensive things laying around.
right.
You know what I mean? Like, I just can't do that because then we'd be liable for it. You know what I mean?
But yeah. So I mean, like I said, we're sorry it didn't work last. I have no idea why it's working now, but it didn't work last night.
Yeah, we couldn't figure it out.
I can't figure it out. I don't know what happened. It was just weird.
Yeah.
Like I said, everything worked great 15 minutes before, and then it stopped working.
Yeah.
Could not figure out why. But I think it'd be cool to go to. I haven't been to a graveyard in a long time, though.
I used to go to them all the time. I used to live in one.
You know, I mean, I just always figured graveyards are, they're graveyards. It's gonna be creepy.
Yeah. Well, see, the one I was in had stuff going on all the time, but I don't know, man. It was peaceful to me. That's why I didn't, because like I was homeless for a while, and so I didn't like stay in the graveyard all day like it was my house or something. Like I would in the daytime I would leave and go look for work and do whatever I had to do.
Yeah.
But the graveyard I stayed in, they have running water and everything, so I was like, okay, cool. And I had a little spot that was right by the running water, so I'm like, all right, cool. And so I would just go there to sleep. Yeah, I would sleep for a few hours, but man, I've heard some strange things in that graveyard. I heard this woman screaming. I had my friend with me that night. There was this woman just started screaming like she was being killed or something. I was like, what the hell is that? It was like 30 feet away from us and there was nobody there.
Right.
And it was very loud.
See, I think that's
so loud it echoed in the little woods and everything that was around, man.
To me, that's one of the creepier things, I think, is when you hear like a disembodied voice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I'm gonna be honest, if it says my name, I'm leaving. Yeah. That makes it personal to me.
See, I answered. If I hear my name, I'm like, what?
See, that's on you, man.
Or I'll say, or if I feel strange from it, I say, go away. But yeah, other than that, man, I've had a lot of times where I was shushed.
Yes, I've heard.
I'll be walking by and they're like, shh, shh. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck I gotta be quiet for? I ain't even say nothing.
Right. Yeah,
I ain't afraid of no ghosts, man.
Yeah, I absolutely.
I a little bit.
Just like I said, I've been to several, probably 10 or 20 places when I was younger. It's what I did, and for some reason I just kind of I don't know, maybe life took over, but now everybody has been trying to get us to let them go with us. Like we had probably 8 or 10 phone calls yesterday that people wanted to go with us to the store and do that. But
yeah, and word got out and the owner got a bunch of phone calls too.
Yeah,
she said she got like 16 phone calls, like I want to go ghost hunting.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Like, hey, I'm gonna be there tonight. She's like, no, you're not.
Like, who said something to you, man?
Right. How do people find stuff out? I'll never know, man.
Like, it's got to be either somebody that worked there or her herself. Maybe she told somebody she knows that said something to a bunch of people they know.
Yeah. But we really want you guys to let us know if you want to go with us on an investigation. That would be excellent. That will probably be our next investigation.
What's up, Riddler? Sorry, you got to conversate with them when they come in. I didn't even notice until just now, but yeah, what's happening? Riddler, that's crazy. One of my names is the Joker.
If you guys really want to go to the graveyard with us that Caw's been trying to get me to go do.
See, I don't even know if this graveyard is haunted though. I just know it's really old and it's in the middle of the woods, and I don't know why it's there. But I saw it in the daytime. I want to go at nighttime because I don't know why. For some reason, spirit activity happens mostly at nighttime.
Right.
There's very seldom times where they're out in the daytime or in the morning or anything like that.
Right.
So that's because like the witching hours, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure the spirit world has rules just like we do.
I don't know.
You know what I
Never
mean?
know.
That's what I would think anyway.
I won't know until I'm deceased.
I mean,
then I'll find out.
I mean, you figure,
dude, I'm gonna be pissed if they have rules after life, man. I'm like, what you mean, bro? No, I'm dead, bro. You ain't telling me nothing. I'm gonna go through this wall and get away from you.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure there's laws of physics for them as there is us, you know.
yeah.
But yeah, that's probably, he's been pushing me to do this for a while, to go to that graveyard.
Yeah, but at first I got to go back on our messages. Carrie sent me a message and gave me the name of it, or maybe that was the name of another graveyard. But anyway, well, there's a couple graveyards. Like there's graveyards, a bunch of them around here, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
There's one right down the road from me.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
well, actually, there's several right down the road from me. Come to think about it.
Do you know what? Do you know where I get an eerie feeling? The downtown.
You know, I do too.
I don't know what it is. It's like a ghost town. Man.
I think it's because it's so old.
Maybe,
you know what I'm saying?
Maybe I don't know, but
it's so old that, yeah, you know.
Oh, what's happening, man? Right on. Yeah. So, hey, maybe you can message me and send me that name of that place again, so I ain't gotta scroll all the way up because I forgot to write it down.
Yeah. So we're gonna do that. I don't know when. I gotta get everything situated with all the other crap we have going on.
Yeah.
You know. But there's so many people that wanted to go with us, you know what I mean? And Caw and I just figured it'd be nice to invite you guys if you wanted to go.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, I think so. And
Are the older graveyards different than the newer ones?
I would think so.
I mean,
I only because you know, they've probably been haunted longer.
Yeah, that, and plus the I think it has the feeling you get too also has to do with the ambiance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it looks older, you're gonna feel more creeped out.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, the newer ones. So okay, the newer graves. The graveyard I was talking about a minute ago, the one I used to sleep at, I met this guy. I forgot his name, Johnny, I think, or I can't remember now.
Are you talking about the one you talked about in the other podcast?
Yeah, this is in another podcast. But I met this guy in front of the graveyard, and I was on my way into the graveyard to drink. I used to drink in the graveyard all the time. I like hanging out there; it's peaceful, like I said before. And he said he had some. They are waiting for you. Yeah, they probably are. But so he had some wine coolers, and he's like, yeah, I'll join you. Blah blah blah. We go and sit in there, and whenever he's done drinking his wine coolers, his last one he threw over both of our heads, and the bottle broke. And I looked at it, and I told him, I said, hey, you got to clean that up, man, because I don't vandalize or garbage up graveyards. You know, keep them clean. And I said, man, you got to clean that up. And when I turned around, the dude was gone. I just hung out with this dude for 6 hours and he was gone. He just was nowhere to be seen, man. And I was like, no way. And then so I was freaking out, and I messaged my boss, and he told me, he was like, I told him the guy's name, and he messaged me back with the picture of the guy. And I was like, yeah, that's him. And so underneath the picture, you scroll up, it's that guy's obituary.
Right.
Now that guy, when we were drinking, he kept going to this grave that had a bunch of lights on it and everything. It was new. It was a newer grave.
Right.
And the next day or two, I went back in there. I went and looked at that grave, and it had his picture on it. And it was the same picture my boss sent me. It was that dude's grave, dude. He was like, I was like, no way. And he's buried with his brother.
Right.
And yeah, dude, it wasn't creepy though.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It was just like, no way. I just hung out with this dude for 6 hours. And like he would when we was telling jokes or everything, he would like elbow me. He'd like, you know what I'm saying? Like I could feel him, dude.
Right.
And I could see him solid, like I'm looking at you. He
Yeah.
didn't look like a ghost at all.
Right.
The only thing, he was kind of pale.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But some people are.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah.
What's this say? The ravens call as they fly over the forest of secrets. You may forgotten your deeds. The earth has not, neither has ivy. The vines you do desperately try to run from have caught up to you.
I have no idea what that means. But yeah, so if you guys are interested, send us your names and your all your stuff, and you'll hear from us probably within a week or so.
That's interesting to me.
We've got, like I said, hopefully Monday night goes great, and we get something else like what happened last night.
Yeah.
I did everything I could to figure it out to get it to go to work properly, but it just would not work properly. So it is what it is. Yeah, I
might have to wear a diaper.
That's true, Terry. You might.
Oh no, you'll be fine.
You know, I've been to some places that you might have to wear one. Yeah, that's true. When I lived down south, there were a few places I went. I went in this one building, and I could swear I was being followed by a woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I heard voices.
Yeah.
But it was really hard to pinpoint where they were coming. This building had been shut down. It was like a Freemasons building that used to be open down there. And the Freemasons, they were in some crazy stuff. So it was what it was, but it was a cool building though. And I mean, it's not like it was creepy, or scary, but it was dark and had no power, and you know what I mean? It was pretty cool. So, but we thank you guys for watching.
Yeah. Hey, Riddler, why don't you look me up on Facebook? I'm on Facebook. I'm Winter Raven. I want to talk to you about this little poem you wrote. I'm intrigued by that for a couple reasons.
Right?
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna take a picture of that.
Yeah.
Because once we get off of here, it's gonna be.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go.
And if you guys know of any places too, let us know, and we will. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mama.
Hey, Mama. Yes. Yeah, you're gonna have to come on you and Jerry's gonna have to come on the podcast one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd love to have you guys come on and tell your stories.
And once we figure this all out, because this is kind of new to us. With coming on here, we can split screen, and you can get on here on your YouTube and live stream with us.
Yeah.
So I forgot what they call that. I see people doing that on TikTok all the time.
Yes.
And it's called something.
Or she could call in, and the mics will.
Right.
You could just call in and to the program, and the mics are going to pick you up tremendously. So, which is crazy.
Hey, Mom, why don't you look up on the chat and look at that poem the Riddler wrote, and tell me that's weird. I mean, Riddler, I'm not saying that it's weird. I'm just saying there's a lot of stuff in there that has to do with my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna go into details or nothing, but yeah, that's the words you chose are just
right.
Kind of caught me off guard. I can't get it out of my head now.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys know of any places, hit us up. Let us know. We would love to, I'm actually thinking about I'm actually thinking about maybe going on like a weekend trip or something to some haunted locations too. I've been mulling that over.
Yeah, that would that would have to be very planned out because
Well,
I'd have
yeah,
to
like
get
I
the
said,
time
it's
off
one
of
of those
work.
that probably couldn't happen for at least a few months. Yeah. So, um, you guys just let us know what you think, and hopefully, we get some good stuff. So,
That last thing from the Riddler, all I could say is, and you'll know what I'm talking about, is other friends have flown before.
right. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Riddler's intriguing me, man. I'm like, who is this cat?
Yeah, right. All right. So we'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching our live podcast.
Yeah, we've been on for almost an hour now.
Yeah.
And it's only at 4 people. It jumped up to 7, and it's down
Well,
down
yeah.
to 4. But
All right. Thank y'all for watching. And again, if you have any questions, comments, anything,
yeah,
let us know.
Let us know.
And like and tell all your friends to like and subscribe.
It's a trick. Oh,
That's your mama.
It might be, but that's just weird what they said. So,
Right.
All right. We'll see y'all real soon.
Love you, Mom.
Love you, Mama. Dude, that shit.